There is a very specific type of shame that men simply refuse to talk about. It's the shrinking, paralyzing feeling of not being able to fulfill your role as a provider. I recently overheard a conversation where this man was being reduced to his unemployment status. He was accused of trying to get a free ride. Today, we're dragging the emasculation of financial failure into the light. My name is Gerald, and I am a money drunk. And I was recently at this party, and they were talking about this guy and how he was just trying to freeload, and he had been unemployed for a seemingly unacceptable amount of time. And I know what that feels like. I know what it feels like to lose your job. I'm very familiar with that conversation, and when that comes up and that sinking feeling that, oh no, I've failed again. And I know what it's like to train for a new job or train for a new career, go to school and get an education for a new career. And it's never the new career or the new job that's the problem. It's my relationship with myself. That's what ends the job. That's what ends the career. And that's the part that I need to change. I don't need to change anything on the outside. I need to change what's inside of me. Because what these people were pointing at was not so much that he wasn't trying or he wasn't putting in the effort, or maybe he is scared. Maybe he is frozen in fear. That may have been something that they were pointing to. But that feeling that a man can't provide, a man can't contribute, that is the part that is so painful and is so difficult to overcome. I've been in many situations where I have had every intention of paying the bills, paying rent, paying the mortgage, whatever the case may be, but just not having the financial wherewithal to be able to do that. To have to depend on someone else, a partner, a spouse, in order to carry the load. And when that eventually fell apart, I was left on my own, trying to figure out how I can get a better job or learn a new skill so that I can make enough money to take care of my family. I know that pain and I know that struggle. How about you? Have you ever felt that type of struggle before? Have you ever felt that pain? Have you ever felt so emasculated that you can't take that next step in order to do something better for your future? But sometimes I feel like I'm taking the wrong steps in the wrong direction. I may be headed down a path, I may be climbing a ladder that is absolutely wrong or inappropriate or simply not going to be leading anywhere. But I'm pursuing it with the hope, with the dream that I'm going to be able to provide for my family. Being a money drunk, one of the things that I know that I have the delusion of is that there's going to be this big deal out there and I'm going to chase after it with all my might, with all my knowledge, with all my education. I'm going to chase after this big deal, and this is going to be the thing that's going to solve all of my problems. And you know what? It never does. Somewhere along the line, I self-sabotage. I complete the task that I'm supposed to complete in order to attain the skill or achieve the achievement. But I try and figure out a way to do it my own unique, special way. And it doesn't work. It just simply doesn't work. And that goes back to the question of that feeling of whether I feel like I deserve it or not. Am I worthy of wealth? Am I worthy of providing for my family. Of course, I want to provide for my family. I've always wanted kids. I want to provide for my kids. But why am I not doing it? Why do I find myself in situations where I'm not earning enough money, where I am not doing the things that are going to lead to getting a better job, or once I'm in that job, being able to fulfill upon that job and earn the income that I need in order to not only for my family to survive, but to thrive? Why aren't I taking those steps? Again, it comes back down to changing my relationship with money and changing my relationship with myself. It's an inside job. Right now, I don't have the answers for it. I don't have a transformation for you right here. I know the only thing that I can do is take that next step forward. So let me ask you, what's the next step forward for you? Not stepping towards some sort of fantasy or delusion that's going to solve all your problems there in the future someday, somehow. But what's the next step that you can take right now? Again, for me, it's hitting that record button, hitting that publish button so that I can get this message out to you. And if this message means anything to you, if you resonate with anything that I've said here, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. I'd love to hear what you're going through. I'd love to know what you struggle with and how maybe you've overcome some of these struggles. But most of all, I want to know what you're feeling. What are you feeling? What do you feel when that shame wells up and you don't know what to do with those feelings? Let me know in the comments below, and I'd love to hear your story. Join me on this journey as I begin to get money sober.